Good morning everyone. Today we are going to start with Carnot cycle and its efficiency. Carnot recognized that any heat engine should exchange heat with at least two reservoirs, one at high temperature, that is known as source, and the other at a lower temperature, that is known as sink. Such an engine absorbs heat from the source, converts from converts some of it into work and discards the rest to the sink. This type of ideal and reversible heat engine exchanges heat and work with its surroundings by allowing the working substance, which may be any gas or steam, to go through a sequence of four reversible processes which constitute the Carnot cycle. At the completion of each cycle, the working substance is restored to its original state so that a fresh cycle can be started. The Carnot cycle consists of four stages with which can be represented graphically as a relation between any two state functions such as pressure, temperature, pressure, temperature, enthalpy, temperature, and internal energy or temperature. The Carnot cycle has the following steps. First, isothermal and reversible expansion of an ideal gas from initial volume V1 to volume V2 at source temperature T2. Adiabatic expansion from volume V2 to volume V3 till the temperature reaches T1 of the sink. Isothermal and adiabatic compression from volume V3 to volume V4 at temperature T1. Adiabatic compression from V4 to V1 till the temperature T2 of the source is attained. The Carnot cycle employs an imaginary heat engine which absorbs heat energy Q2 from a heat source kept at temperature T2. The engine converts fraction of the heat absorbed into work and rejects Q1 heat to the sink kept at temperature T1. So, the efficiency of the engine is then given by this formula, which represents the relation between work done and heat absorbed. The efficiency of the engine depends upon the difference in temperature of the source and the sink and is independent of the nature of working substance. Now, this is PV diagram of Carnot cycle, in which first step is reversible isothermal expansion. The cylinder containing the gas at an initial volume is placed in contact with the source and the gas is allowed to undergo an isothermal expansion reversibly to a volume V2. During this change, there is an inflow of thermal energy from the large source so that the temperature of the gas is T2. Q2 is the heat absorbed from the reservoir since there is no change in internal energy. So the heat absorbed from the reservoir will be equal to minus W1, or we can say work done by the gas in path 1. Second step, it is reversible adiabatic expansion. The cylinder is now removed from the source and is thermally insulated from the surroundings. The gas is allowed to expand reversibly and adiabatically from a volume V2 to V3. During this adiabatic process of expansion, the work done by the gas will be at the expense of its internal energy, and so the temperature of the gas decreases to T1. In this step, Q is equals to 0, so the change in internal energy will be equal to work done by the gas. In third step, reversible isothermal compression, the cylinder is removed from the insulating jacket and is placed in contact with the sink, the gas being at the same temperature as that of the sink. The gas is compressed reversibly under isothermal conditions till the volume of the gas becomes V4. The transfer of thermal energy from the system, that is gas, to the sink serves to keep the temperature of a gas constant instead of rising. For this process, the change in internal energy will be 0, and so the work done on the gas is equal to the heat given out to the sink. And fourth one, reversible adiabatic compression. The cylinder is removed from the sink and is once again placed inside the insulating jacket. The gas is then compressed adiabatically and reversibly till the volume becomes equal to initial volume. During this process, the temperature of the gas also increases from T1 to T2. Heat absorbed will be equal to 0, so the work done on the gas as a result of these four operations, the system has been restored to its initial state. From the first law of thermodynamics, for the cyclic process, the change in internal energy will be 0, and so the net heat absorbed will be equal to net work done by the gas. Similarly, this is another explanation of Carnot cycle in terms of TS diagram. Now, Carnot theorem. All Carnot engines operates between same source and same link will have same efficiency. The efficiency of Carnot's heat engine is given by this formula. T2 is the temperature of the source and T1 is the temperature of the sink. Carnot theorem suggests that no other engine operating between same two temperatures can have greater efficiency. It is therefore impossible to make an engine having efficiency more than the Carnot engine. For this reason, Carnot efficiency is called thermodynamic efficiency. So, thank you so much. We end here.